Nanako reveals that she is a spy infiltrating Minoru's base to uncover his secrets as part of her mission. A cute girl with deadly intentions. We've seen this before, and we know how it ends, with someone catching feelings. When Minoru returns, he greets her with a kiss on the forehead and apologizes for being late. She welcomes him warmly. She's acting all wifey while plotting his downfall, peak professionalism. Minoru, an assassin, is her target, and her task is to discover his weakness. Curious, she asks about his mission for the day, but he evades her questions, feigning innocence. She pouts and complains that he never answers properly, expressing her desire to know more about him. Girl, are you gathering intel or just trying to get to know your man? Suddenly, Minoru hugs her from behind, startling her. He tells her that she's the one full of secrets. She trembles, trying to deflect, but he leans in close and whispers in her ear, exposing her real name, Heron Nino, and her true identity as a spy. Oh, she thought she was slick, but bro already had her full government name on file. Pulling out a knife, he asserts his dominance. She realizes her mission has failed. Minoru presses her onto the bed, commanding her not to move. Despite her fear, he reassures her that he won't hurt her. Fuchima, not gonna lie, this is kinda spicy. Stammering, she asks when he discovered her secret. He replies that he has known for a long time. As she lies there helpless, she notices he isn't tying her up. Anxiety consumes her. Is this just the intro to torture? Struggling, she feels Minoru cover her eyes and hears him declare her resistance futile. He orders her to give up, whispering, "A good night." She braces for the worst. When daylight breaks, Nanako opens her eyes to find herself in Minoru's arms. He greets her casually, startling her so much that she falls back. Concerned, Minoru asks if Nanako is okay, then pats her head and invites her to the living room. Confused by her survival, she wonders if the events of the previous night were just a dream. Minoru offers to make her coffee, and she instructs him to add 2 packs of sugar and plenty of milk. He chuckles, remarking on her love for sweet things, and casually calls her Nino. The use of her real name jolts her. She realizes she has indeed been exposed. Ripped to her cover, but at least she's getting breakfast first. He pulls out a knife again and orders her to come closer. Certain this is the end, she curses her fate, but to her astonishment, he cooks her a meal instead. Bro really said, "I could kill you, but let's start with a balanced breakfast." And she tastes the food and is amazed by its deliciousness, complimenting him on his skill. Minoru seems genuinely pleased by her reaction. As she watches him, her mind races, questioning his motives now that her cover has been blown. Determined, she informs him that he won't win her over so easily. Which, unfazed, Minoru offers to make French toast and ice cream for dessert. Assassin boyfriend material? Man's out here seducing his enemies with 5-star meals. Nanako, exasperated, muses aloud about the absurdity of her ideal boyfriend being an assassin. She asks if he has always been skilled at cooking, and he casually replies that he has. Then, without warning, he drops a bombshell. Minoru is a fabricated identity. The person she thought she was targeting never existed. Stammering, Nanako calls their relationship a ridiculous game of house between 2 fake personas. She brings up her intelligence report, which claimed he liked airheaded girls, and asks if that too was a lie. Minoru apologizes, confirming that it was all false. Crestfallen, Nanako laments that all her meticulously gathered information was useless. All that effort, just for bro to hit her with, "That's not even my real name." Sensing her despair, Minoru encourages her, saying she is on the right path and that these lessons will help her succeed in future missions. But Nanako confesses she cannot afford to fail. She has no family, and her sole purpose is to be a spy. Failure means returning to a life of torture. There is no next time for her. She admits that she worked tirelessly, dieting to meet his supposed preference for slim women, learning to cook, even though her attempts were inedible, only to realize all of it was based on a lie. Resigned to the belief that he will kill her anyway, she feels no regrets. Looking somber, she shares her thoughts while Minoru listens in silence. Then, unexpectedly, he gets on his knees. Shocked, Nanako asks what he is doing. Minoru takes her hand and proposes marriage. Wait, what? Man skipped 10 steps and went straight to marry me. He tells her he wants her to be his wife. Flustered, she demands to know why he's suddenly saying this. He tells Nanako to think about it, because if she returns empty-handed, the association will dispose of her without hesitation. So basically, marry me or die. This man plays by no rules. Minoru explains there's a way to prevent her execution. She must become his wife and inform the association that she has successfully lured him into arranging an engagement, or as they call it, a marriage contract. A marriage contract. He then asks for her opinion, reminding her that this is her only choice. She hesitates, questioning if this isn't even more terrifying than dying. Nervously, she asks what he's planning now. Minoru places his hand on her leg. She instantly stops him. Hold up, bro. We just talked about survival, and now you're getting handsy. Calmly, he asks Neneko to take it off. Confused, she demands to know why.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
He explains that he wants to apologize for dirtying her clothes earlier and admits he might have scared her. She presses him, asking what exactly was frightening, and he sheepishly clarifies, telling her to strip, especially when they haven't even kissed yet, was probably out of line. Oh, so now he's got self-awareness. She responds that she has decided not to do anything indecent while undercover. Even as a spy, she often does things that could easily blow her cover. He pats her head, making her question his reaction. Minoru simply replies, "It's a secret." Bro is playing 4D chess while she's still on level 1. The scene transitions to a clothing store. Neneko steps out of the changing room wearing a new outfit and shyly asks if it's really okay for her to pick something for herself. She explains that she usually wears outfits that match the target's case, so dressing for herself feels embarrassing. Suddenly, Minoru takes pictures of her. Confused, she asks if he intends to expose her. He smirks and tells her she's far too cute, asking if that isn't reason enough. Boy just dropped a critical hit to her heart stat. Blushing, she wonders what he's rambling about but ultimately relents, saying she's fine with it as long as he doesn't do anything inappropriate with the photos. Minoru thanks her, grabs her hand, and drags her along, eager to see her in different outfits. Sir, calm down. This isn't a dress-up game. She begins to feel as though it's a real date. At the register, the cashier asks if he's buying the outfit for his girlfriend. Wrapping his arms around her, he boldly declares, "Ooh, we're engaged. So now, she's my wife." "Excuse me?" Stammering, Neneko protests, saying she never agreed to such a thing. The cashier simply smiles and tells them to follow her. Curious, Neneko asks what she intends to show them. The lady leads them to a wedding dress. She explains that it's rare to see one in stores these days. Neneko stares at the gown, mesmerized. She whispers that it's beautiful. Minoru, watching her reaction, suddenly asks, "Do you want to try it on?" Lost in thought, she barely hears him. When he repeats the question, she quickly tells him to stop joking and reminds him that they should head to the counter. Back at home, she finds herself back to square one. During work hours, she's tasked with looking after his place, yet her conflicting loyalties weigh heavily on her. She knows she cannot betray the association. Yet, she feels that betraying Minoru isn't the right thing to do either. Oh no, our girl's catching feelings, and she might not survive them. Neneko knows this is the perfect chance to uncover his secrets, but something inside her hesitates. She clenches her fists, determined. She must learn his real name. His image flashes before her, and she realizes there is no time for doubt. He is the enemy. He's only keeping her alive because she's useful. So, wait, why is she acting this way? Suddenly, a chilling sensation creeps up her spine. Before she can react, a blade presses against her neck. Bro pulled a Batman without the cape. His voice, calm yet laced with menace, asks what she's doing. She stammers, trying to find an excuse, but his icy fingers brush against her skin, and she freezes, literally and figuratively. The sheer freezing aura radiating off him is suffocating. He tusks, calling her a bad girl. "Sir, this is not the time for that kind of dialogue." His abyssal eyes lock onto hers, the gaze of a predator watching its prey. She cannot look away. Grabbing her chin, he leans in dangerously close, voice low and commanding. "But tell me what you were up to." He calls her name, and in that moment, she breaks. Trembling, she confesses. She planned to uncover his real name and report it to the association. Guilt crashes over her, and she bows her head, apologizing. He can do whatever he wants with her.
Yeah.
For a long moment, he stares, expression unreadable. Then, in a voice colder than ice, he repeats her confession. "So that's what you were doing?" Regret twists in her gut. If only she had been born a normal girl, she wouldn't be in this position. If only she weren't a spy, maybe she could have had an ordinary life. But now, such thoughts are worthless. She closes her eyes, bracing for death, only to be pulled into an embrace. Her breath hitches. His arms hold her in a way that's neither threatening nor forceful. Then, his voice softens. My name is Omai, but you can just call me Omi. She stiffens. He just gave up his real name. Stunned, she looks up at him as he begins explaining the kanji of his name. But she interrupts. That's not what I meant. Her mind is spinning. Why isn't she dead? Senji dead. Why would he just hand over that information? What game is he playing? Omi, unfazed, calmly explains that he would never harm her. In fact, he offers to let her continue her mission, if she agrees to marry him. Her sigh trembles as she mutters that, for someone like her, spying might be pointless after all. Omi acknowledges that her mission could be a problem for him, but it could also greatly benefit her within the association. She shifts the conversation, remembering how cold his hands were earlier. Was that murderous intent? He chuckles, admitting that he's just sensitive to the cold. Concern flashes across her face. Without thinking, she asks to see his hands. When she touches them, they're like ice. Her worry deepens. She suggests making some warm food, hoping it might help. But instead of answering, Omi gently places her hand against his face, eyes unreadable. His voice drops to a near whisper. You're too kind for this line of work. Her cheeks flush at his words, and he smirks, gently brushing his fingers over her palm. He compliments her hands, murmuring that they're warm and soft, like freshly baked bread. Her face burns even redder, caught off guard by the unexpected sweetness. He chuckles at her reaction, then casually drops a bomb. He has a gift for her. The scene shifts to a church. Omi walks in, eyes landing on her. There she stands, draped in a wedding gown, the white fabric flowing around her like a dream. She fidgets, looking at him with an unreadable expression before blurting. You always act so suddenly. He tilts his head. Did I upset you? She stammers, admitting that she still cannot trust him. Her voice wavers as she reminds him, he is her enemy, the very target she was assigned to eliminate. A wedding dress? Utterly meaningless in the eyes of an undercover agent. Yet despite herself, she laments how complacent she has become. How much she has indulged in this illusion, but no matter how much she denies it, she's always admired fairy tales. As a child, she used to dream about Cinderella's magic, a love story that defied all odds. And now, standing here like this, she feels like an idiot. Omi watches her closely, then takes a step forward. She doesn't move, so he takes another. Her voice quivers as she suggests he must have staged all this just to toy with her. But before she can finish, his lips are on hers. Her breath catches, her mind blanking, as he deepens the kiss. Who? Eventually, he pulls back just enough to look into her dazed eyes. His lips curl into a smirk. You're too adorable. Then he drops the bomb. Her heart stops. He confesses everything, how he had fallen for her long ago, how he watched her endure strict diets for missions, even though she loved food, how she tried and failed to cook, her expression crumpling when her dishes ended in disaster. How, despite knowing it was all for her job, he couldn't help but find her endearing. His desire to know her, the real her, only grew stronger. Locking eyes with her, he confesses again, I'm madly in love with you. He wants to spoil her, tease her, be by her side. Always. A sudden playfulness flickers in his gaze. He leans down and bites her hair. She yelps, shoving him away as her face explodes in red. Her voice shakes. Yes, stop that! He only chuckles, his grin sharp. What can I say? I'm about to kidnap this cute Cinderella, and just like that, their fate is sealed. A deadly couple bound by love, betrayal, and an engagement that marks the beginning of a relationship unlike any other.